QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking, Panther Nation? We back another week, another Tuesday, your regular scheduled program, Panther Nation Podcast, Rashad and Dave in the building. A little bit to talk about. some S just hit the fan. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to all of that, okay? But geez, wow. What a nice piece of information to have going into the show today.
Let
But
me
Dave,
tell
before
you
we
something.
before we go ahead, before we get into all that, man, Dave, how was your weekend? All that good stuff.
Oh man, this is the final stretch, man. Evo's next week, not this weekend, but the next upcoming weekend. So I'm closing out, trying to finish up, learn the rest of these games before next week. So we're gonna see how it goes. Should be fun. It's gonna be a wild week. This weekend's gonna be torturous. But
Yeah.
Vegas is next week, so I'm looking forward to it. So I mean, overall weekend's been pretty good. Weekend was good, you know. I went to New York on Monday for a college visit for my daughter.
Okay,
but you know,
that's dope.
1 day trip. But you know,
what's school?
Hofstra.
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 I know a little bit about Hofstra from back in the day. I used to live up there.
Oh yeah, you used to. That is right. You did used to live up there.
Live up in Watertown, New York.
Oh man, yeah.
By the lake. You know what I mean? Cold as hell.
They by the water. Nah, it wasn't cold. Let me tell you something, bro. It was not cold on Monday.
Well, yeah,
There was warmer there than it was in Rhode Island.
Right. Yeah, it's been hot, bro. It's been hot everywhere. Everywhere is getting crazy, man. Shout out to everybody in Jamaica, in Texas, and everybody dealing with that hurricane, man. Hope everybody's doing okay. I know Jamaica got hit pretty hard with the hurricane down there. It's hurricane season out in these streets.
80% of the folks in Houston don't have power.
It's crazy, bro.
We know
a couple folks in Houston, so make sure y'all straight, and if y'all need something, holler at your boy. But yeah, man, for me, pretty cool weekend. Not too much going on. It's been busy at work. Kind of tired, low key right now. I had to go in the office today. It's been real hectic. We got a real big rollout coming for work, so it's like all systems go. So I've been really, really, really busy and just tired. So hopefully I can get through the show. But yeah, man, weekend was straight, no complaints. I like being busy, so I ain't really complaining. Yeah, man, definitely military brat. Yeah, definitely shout out to Fort Drum. Used to live in Fort Drum, went to Carthage Middle School. Shout out to the Comets. That's where I played middle school football, and that's where I took that famous L that I talk about every time.
It was in New York?
It was in New York. It was cold. Got ran over. That's when I found out football wasn't for me. So, yeah. Shout out to definitely military brat, though, for sure. Shout out to my pops, retired. He is now like the commander of the VFW. Yeah, man. So my dad is like that. And I appreciate my dad. All right. So anything else before we get into the content, Dave?
Nah, man, let's get into it. Yo, look.
We're gonna save that. We're gonna save that one a little bit. We ain't gonna get right into that one, but we're gonna get to it though. We're gonna get to it. All right. Let me see.
Let's hit these super chats real fast. Shout out to ALS. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. Oh yeah, the 4th was last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4th was cool. I had a pool party at the crib. Well, my kids had a pool party. All the dance parents came over and it was lit. So it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, happy 4th to everybody. I didn't really celebrate it like that. I'll keep it a buck with y'all. I typically don't as much like I used to. So
yeah.
But, I enjoy the day off. I ended up working the Friday after. So, those are the breaks sometimes.
Yeah, it be like that sometimes, dog. It be like that. All right, so let's go ahead and get to some content. We'll hold the Adrien Wilson stuff for a little bit later. I'm sure y'all gonna appreciate some of the stuff we'll get into before we get to that. But the first thing we got to talk about, Dave, is Slant Boy. We got to talk about Michael Thomas because it's the word on the street, Dave. Word on the street, and it's not really word on the street. Let's not feed into that tea. But basically, somebody had wrote an article and said that the Panthers and Michael Thomas will be an interesting fit because obviously Michael Thomas is getting older. He's able to get open. Hasn't played. I think he's only played like 20 games since 2020, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But he's been super injury prone. But he's available, and obviously the Panthers still kind of reaching at wide. I mean, I know we got some guys, but I mean,
No.
you go out there and get some veterans. I'm laying it up. I'm putting it by the rim, Dave. You do what you want to do with it. But Dave, what you thinking, bro?
I'm rejecting the hell
You,
out of
you,
that.
you reject? You tossing it up, tossing it to the stands, dog?
Come on, dog. Like, come on, man. Like, what we doing trying to bring this man in here? He ain't been healthy in a couple years. Like a couple years, guys. I'll pass. I mean, and we already got somebody that does that. His name is Adam Thielen, and he stays healthy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't understand why. Why?
I mean, y'all don't think if healthy, Michael Thomas could be of some service?
Sure, but isn't the goal to grow some of your positions? It's going to be hard to grow if you keep bringing all these vets in. Like, I think we've reached the vet cap.
I mean,
and wide receiver, I think we've reached the vet cap, sir.
I would also argue that wouldn't it? And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't necessarily think I would rather develop our guys, but I'm playing devil's advocate. So when I say this, don't look at me as if I want this to happen. But I'm just talking hypothetically here. Wouldn't you think that giving your young quarterback, veteran wide receivers is a good thing?
But you already have two. You got Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen. If the goal is to try to re-sign Deontay to a long-term deal, you do not do this. I'm keeping the buck with you. You don't do this. Yeah. And I mean, and Michael Thomas could be healthy, and Michael Thomas probably is going to be able to contribute to an NFL team. But I think for what Canals is trying to do, you don't do this. Like, you traded for Deontay Johnson. You know what I'm saying? We need to resign him, by the way. Like, that's a whole separate discussion that we probably don't need to get into now. But we made the decision to trade Dante Jackson to get Deontay Johnson. We kind of need to resign him. Like, otherwise it'll just be for a rental. And
I personally don't think the Panthers are going to re-sign without seeing what he does in action.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But my point is, the goal is to re-sign him.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. And if the goal is to re-sign him, knowing that Adam Thielen he probably might play another year, right? Knowing that Adam Thielen might only give you one more year, knowing you just drafted Leggett, we got Mingo. We don't need this. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. We don't need this.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there. Let me just cite my sources because I want to give this man some some credit. I won't say props, but Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report was the one that he kind of went through all the NFL's current free agents, and he kind of went through and said, hey, Michael Thomas, could have enough to help the Panthers. And I'll read the quote. The quote in the article says, the Carolina Panthers can and should also consider Thomas as they look to put talent around their second-year quarterback, Bryce Young. Thomas's size, route running prowess, and divisional familiarity would be a boon as Young looks to bounce back from a disappointing rookie campaign. That is the quote from the article. To that, you say what, Dave?
Rejecting it from the rim. That's what I say.
I'm just saying what he said was kind of all true.
No, it's true,
you can't really
but
argue
it's
with what he's saying.
I'm not going to argue what he's saying. I don't want it to happen. And I don't think he'll sign here anyway. The dude's probably trying to get another chip. And if he's trying to get another chip, he ain't going to sign here.
Yeah, somebody did mention there's definitely some smoke between him and Derek Brown. You remember the famous tweet where Derek Brown was chasing Michael Thomas down the tunnel. So I think there is some mending offenses that does need to occur if Michael Thomas were to come to Carolina. I don't see it happening, but I'm just throwing that out there. It is a little bit of a slow news cycle, but this is something that kind of came.
Bro, this is a crawl news cycle, bro. This is a crawl news cycle. This is ridiculous. Like man, I'll go on a whole rant about how I feel about the off seasons. Man, folks be out here just creating articles.
That's what he did. I mean, he went through the. He did
a data point. And it was an opinionated article. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just
it makes sense.
It just shows the level of boredom some people have to do something like that.
It makes sense. It's just really unrealistic. Like, obviously, you take the free agents, you take the free agent list, you say, hey, who's been trash at wide receiver, and throw him at Carolina. Like, that's basically what he did. And so I can't really blame him for what he wrote. because it's true. Everything he said was true.
Would it?
I just think it's super unrealistic.
Yeah, the question is, would he truly move the needle for us?
I say no. I don't think.
Because
I think what you
because the thing here's my thing, and I said this a different way earlier, but I'll say it this way.
Yeah,
we drafted Xavier Legette. Why would you sign another wide receiver at this point?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that you need to develop the talent you have. There needs to be a hyper focus on that instead of trying to bring in these vets. I think it's cool. You got Deontay Johnson, like you mentioned. You got Adam Thielen. Those are the guys that are going to help develop the other guys. And it's a good balance that we have in that wide receiver room right now. So I don't see Michael Thomas coming here. I think it was a shot in the dark by my man, a little clickbaity. Yeah. But I thought it was interesting to discuss because I know how some of y'all feel about Michael Thomas. I kind of want to get the energy up a little bit. But but yeah. So yeah, that was really it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I just thought it was interesting to talk about.
Way. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll move on. Any final thoughts on that, Dave?
Rejected at the rim.
Rejected at the rim. All right, I get it. All right. All right. So really quick, very interesting news. If you follow us on Twitter at Panther Nation PC or X, whatever the hell we're calling it, the training camp schedule or the training camp tickets were released yesterday. Okay. So let's talk about this, because I got to take care of my people. That's what PNP has been doing since day one. Okay. And what I thought was going to happen actually did happen. You heard me talk about, well, what's with the VIP section? What's good with the VIP section? Well, Dave, I got an email a couple of days ago that said, hey, the VIP section is for PSL owners. There's a limited amount of tickets.
Wow.
So guess what? Guess who got access to where all the V's are? That's where I got VIP tickets. All right. So what we're going to do is, and again, I always take care of my Patreon members first. Okay. So Patreon members, if you're interested and you want to go to any of these games, screenshot this. I got 4 tickets for each excluding myself, right? The days with the X's, I'm not going. I won't be there. Obviously, the first 2 days in July, we'll be in Vegas, so I will not be at training camp. Then on August, what's that first? I'm not going to Fan Fest. I'm cool on Fan Fest.
You ain't going because it ain't in North Carolina?
Yeah, it ain't North Carolina. I'm gonna let the Clemson Knights and South Carolina folks have that.
That's what they call them, the Clemson.
I don't know. It sounded nice.
The Clemson Knights is hilarious.
It sounded nice. And then August 10th, I have something to do. So I will not be at any of those games or any of those events. But what you do see is, so on the 3rd, I have, and I don't know where the G went, but on the 3rd, I have general admission, and on the joint practice, I have general admission. So I'll give those away too. But all the V's, that's where Rashad has tickets. And if you are a Patreon member, it doesn't matter what level, I'm going to go from MVP on down the ranks. So if it's 4 MVP or 3 MVPs that claim them, I'm going to the 3 MVPs. So each day you guys send me a message in Discord or Patreon. Please send me a message, Discord or Patreon. Let me know if you are a Patreon member, and I will give you a free ticket. I can transfer the ticket to you just like a regular game ticket, and you can come to VIP with your boy. We can chop it up, watch practice. So it is what it is. So just let me know. MVP members y'all get first crack, right? And then we'll go down the ranks. If there are no MVP that want to go, then we'll go to franchise, and then we'll go to free agent. So you can always upgrade your subscription, and we'll take care of you there. However you want to do it to get access.
So for those who don't know, let me put the ticker down here real fast so you guys will know where to go.
They said Shad don't fool with SC. That ain't true, bro. Clemson was too
far,
he be
out here hating on us, man. Like he be
don't do that.
Yo, Clemson Knights is hilarious.
It was
the website to become a patron, www.patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. That's where you can go. There's three tiers. You got free agent, franchise, and MVP.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that there for y'all so y'all can see it, pick it, decide which tier you want. This is the perfect opportunity to become a patron.
And it's first come, first serve. First come, first serve. If you want it, send me a message on Discord or Patreon. I'll get it either way. I'm gonna check both. I'm trying not to duplicate days, so you can request multiple days, and I'm gonna shuffle through the day so everybody gets an opportunity. This again, I'm about sharing. Y'all know what PNP is about, bro. I've been about this. I've been about this giveaway license day one, bro, because I know people don't have access to it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If y'all into the autograph game, this VIP section is where you're gonna want to be because they gotta literally walk right past you.
Yeah.
The joint is set up.
What did I say when they showed how they're gonna do training camp? I
Yeah.
said that VIP area is where you're gonna get them grabs, and everybody else is gonna be out of luck. I think they might still go to the gym pop, but I just don't think they're gonna be there as
Gen
long.
Pop, what's this, prison, bro?
Gen Pop. We call it Gen Pop. General population Gen Pop.
Yeah, this ain't prison though. That's what they call it in prison.
I mean, that's how I
Gen
treat
Pop.
flights too. If you ain't first class, you Gen Pop. I'm Gen Pop very often now. I mean, I'm divorced. I'm Gen Pop very often nowadays. But it's Gen Pop. Gen Pop.
Okay. All right. That's what you do. Don't be general population. Come to the VIP with your boy. Man, you missed it, DeAndre. You missed it. If I'm Silver Club too, and you had to see the email. The email came out on July the 7th, the day before they were released. They came out on the 8th. You had to click the link. There was a code you had to put in there, and then you got to claim up to 4 tickets. And so that's how I got the 4 tickets in the VIP section. I don't think there are any VIP sections left to claim, to be honest with you. I think they all got scooped up. So I don't think there are any more left. But if you're a Patreon member, hey, you could go grab some. Holler at your boy. Okay. So yeah, this is it. Again, wherever you see the V, screenshot this and then get your days in order. Again, look at the times. Please don't waste a ticket. I want everybody to get an opportunity to go. So please, if you're gonna grab a ticket, please attend. Please attend. Okay. Don't do the other listeners dirty. Okay.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy or gal.
Okay. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So patreon.com/Panther Nation PC if you want to sign up. It doesn't matter what level you sign up. Everybody has the opportunity, but I'm going to start with the MVPs first. MVPs first, and then work my way down to franchise and then free agents. So free agents will get the last crack at it, and it's first come, first serve. You hit me up, first come, first serve. I'm putting you on the list, and I will notify you. I'll get it together sometime this week, and then you should have the tickets in your inbox once I converse and grab your email. I'll need your Ticketmaster email. Okay. All right. So any questions?
Questions?
So yeah. So basically, what's going to happen? This is what happens in any scenario, right? Even at the other training camps, the VIP sections is typically where those folks, the player, you literally, the way it's set up. Let me see if I can pull up the map so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I gotta find it. Sorry, give me a second. I wasn't prepared. Dave, check for any questions in the chat. Why?
All right. Anybody choose Chiefs? I don't know what that's about.
Oh, it's talking about for the game ticket. So yeah, I reached out to my man who won last week. He's gonna select his ticket. So I don't know if anybody chose the Chief yet. So no, as of right now, no. All right, let me pull this up.
It's weird. All right, there we go.
Oops.
No new questions for now.
Oh shoot. Lost my window. Give me 1 second, y'all.
But that's good. That's great news, man, that you were able to get the VIPs though.
Yeah, man, it's been good. Hey, kudos to the Panthers, man. I got it. Listen, I'm gonna be the first one to tear them down, but they've been doing a great job with this stuff. And again, as a PSL owner, a lot of people be ragging on, hey, I don't feel the, I don't. What's the perk? What's the point of being a PSL owner? Well, there you go. So here's what I want y'all to see, right? So, and this is why it's important to be in this VIP section, right? So the VIP section, cool. You can watch the game over here. You line up right here. There's a VIP entrance right here. But before practice and after practice, the players come from here. Oh, y'all can see my mouse here. They come from the stadium. This is Bank of America Stadium down here. The players come out of the stadium. They walk under this thing. Then they got to walk right past you. That's the place to be when it comes to autograph time. And this is all projection, right? Because they could change things up. But this is just a really good really good guess on how things are going to work.
And I would want to assume that they're going to take care of the PSL owners.
Yeah. I think
that's the other rub. That's like
yeah.
a safe assumption too. Like I would think they would want to take care of the PSL owners.
Yeah, I think that's the point, because I have not heard, and they may do this. Last year, the PSL owners got a private practice, and we were able to get autographs after that too. So I don't know if they're going to do that this year. If they don't, I think this is a pretty solid compromise for you to get this fence. If you can get on this fence and watch them leave, I'm telling you, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. It is not bad. So again, this is general, as Dave says, Gym Pop over here. Bro, that's terrible, bro. But that's Gym Pop, and then the VIP sections over here, and you don't want to get along this fence.
They got Gym Pop and Fan Zone. I wonder, like, are there actual seating, or is it going to be like standing room only? That's the other thing I'm curious about too.
Bro, I don't want to guess.
No. I'm just thinking.
I have no idea. I assume it's going to be pretty large bleachers, but I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Fan Zone sounds like a standing room only type of situation.
It kind of does. Does. Let me see.
Shout out to Preston with the super chat.
That's a good question. Let me put this back up real quick, and then I'm gonna answer that question. All right. So who's a priority for you to get a signature from this year, man? I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have, bro. I think I'm losing the desire to get out there and grab autographs like that. I mean, BY was the target last year. I think if anything, I probably want to get, because I gave away my Adam Thielen last year. I do want to get an Adam Thielen because he's probably on his way out. Obviously the rookies. Anybody else? I mean, Deontay Johnson would be dope. But I got to be honest, man. I ain't really, and maybe that's the state. That's because that's the state of the team, right? They ain't really anybody I'm really begging to get like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Deontay, some of the newcomers.
Deontay Johnson probably, and
yeah, some of the newcomers.
And the rookies.
But yeah, and the rookies. Yep, the rookies. Pretty much it. My man Hollywood Games said he want that JJ. Yeah, I saw you sent me the messages on Discord. Yeah, that should be easy to get, man. I'll order some jerseys, and we should get. I do have a couple Derrick Browns actually. I've gotten Derrick Brown multiple times. Clowney. I forgot about Clowney.
Oh yeah, you gotta go. You gotta get the Gamecock, man.
I definitely got to get Clowney for sure. I forgot about him. Sorry. A-Cash is speaking of autographs. Remember the helmet with the autographs of the All-Star coaching staff? Good time. Yeah, it was good times. That helmet's still right here. This is the helmet, y'all, that I spent my hard-earned time to get of the All-Star coaching staff. And guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to literally erase it because there's a way to get all these signatures off. I'm about to erase it and start over.
Really?
No, I'm not gonna do that because I might erase some people.
Because Dom Capers is on there, man. Like
Dom Capers
and Jim Caldwell's on there.
Yeah, Capers and Jim Caldwell's up here, so I won't delete them all. But Scott, I'm looking at Scott Fitter right now. You got to go, bro. Do Staley, you got to go, fam. Oh yeah. I got
Evero. Evero's on there.
Evero's up there. Dan Morgan is up here, so he's safe.
Yeah, I'm dying.
It's not too bad. All is not lost. All is not lost.
I'm just crying because you're like, oh yeah, Federer, that one's got to go.
Yeah, I can erase that shit. Hey, that gotta go, bro. That's gotta go.
He's like, yep.
Federer. That's a great question. So I kind of went through A-Cast. How many coaches from the helmet are left? I counted about 4, and I got GMs up there too. So Dan Morgan counts, Caldwell, Evero, Dom Capers, and that's really it. I gotta take off Frank Reich and get my man Canales. So my man said Panero. Nah, I'm cool.
Nah.
Let's keep it for the funny memories. They say, man. Nah, that's not a funny.
That was misery.
That's PTSD. That's PTSD.
It's an M word. No, it's an M word. It's called misery.
That's PTSD, man.
Memories. Dog,
Yeah.
I've seen this team, man. I've seen this team
Oh, I
have.
did get McCown. I got McCown up there too. He gotta go, bro.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
you do got
it's a.
McCown up
I
there.
got everybody literally.
Got all the
Maybe
coaches.
I'm not gonna do all the coaching staff. That seems to be a jinx, so I won't do that. But I'm gonna
I mean, he got to keep a coaching staff longer than a year at some point, right?
I do got to finish the rookie football. So this is the rookie football. I got Jonathan Brooks, Jatavion Sanders, and Jalen Coker. So I'm gonna finish this off training camp. This would be a nice giveaway item. So I plan on giving this one away. But yeah, man. So that's training camp. Again, hit me in Discord, hit me on Patreon.com, and send me a direct message. I'll get them. I'll sift through them. Let me know what day you want to go. Then I'll let you know. First come, first serve. All right. So hit me up. All right. So that said, I will keep it moving. Like I said, Patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. Let me check something real quick.
As soon as you become a member of Patreon, you'll have access to the Discord. You can come chat with the other Patreon members. I might have 2 open slots for Dynasty, man. So stand by. The Patreon. We're talking that through right now. They want to make it a 12-teamer, so we're just trying to agree whether or not we're going to have to redraft again. But we're going to figure that out. Oh nah, I know I didn't go to training camp during the rule era. That might have been the best decision I ever did.
Yep. All right. So again, send me direct messages on Patreon and on in Discord, and I will let y'all know what days are available. Look at these VIP tickets, and if you're an autograph person, check that out. All right. All right. Patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. That's where you sign up. Yeah. Shout out to Wade. That's a very good point.
Keep that helmet as a reminder that it could always be worse, bro.
It can always be worse, bro.
Dog,
it can always get worse.
There ain't too many worse options than 2-15.
Hey, there are though.
Dog, I know.
There are options.
It's the second 15-loss season in franchise history, so I know.
Yeah, it can happen. So again, shout out to the MVP. Shout out to Jerry. Shout out to Metro Maine. 2 new MVP members signed up recently, man. You get your name in the hat, sign up, become a Patreon member, exclusive content, giveaways, all that good stuff, man. Check it out. Shout out to the franchise folks. Again, that's second in line for the VIP tickets if you want a VIP ticket. And then shout out to the free agents as well. Shout out to Haywood McCree, who also signed up recently as a free agent. $3 a month. It's nothing. All right. So again, Patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. Dave, Underdog Fantasy.
All right, guys. Listen, man, you guys had all them jokes last week, so I hope you guys actually went to Underdog Fantasy and signed up. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com and use the promo code PNP. They are also doing a deposit match right now. You can do some best ball in the NFL. They're doing baseball, WNBA, MMA when there's a fight. They even do esports. You can do higher lowers. You can do drafts. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com and win you some money.
All right, Dave. It's time. Let's get in. That's all. The only caption I can come up with.
Should put Ron Simmons up there.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Yeah. So Dave, this had came out recently. Adrian Wilson was relieved of his duty as vice president of player personnel. And I got to be honest, when I saw this news, I was confused, befuddled. Didn't know what to think. I was like, what is happening? And I got to be honest. Before I get into everything, I do want to give kudos to the Carolina Panthers to the way they handled this. Once you start reading some of the details, they did an excellent job handling this situation. They didn't drag him. They didn't throw him under the bus. They just say, hey, look, we let him go. We got no further comment. It is what it is. It ain't because they clean the house. Nah. It ain't because they clean the house.
We getting there.
It is not because
just let the beat build, guys.
Yeah, it's not because they clean the house. But I want to give the Panthers credit for the way they handled the situation because Adrian Wilson, our Panthers executive, was recently arrested on domestic violence charges. Okay, and this ain't like new. This has happened on June 1st. Okay, so this happened a while back. This ain't relatively. So they let it cook. And I'm assuming that the Panthers didn't want to release him.
It was more of a they waited. They had to do a wait and see.
They
Check,
waited to see.
do an
They
investigation.
yeah, they investigated. So that's why I give them props for handling this situation the way they did, because they could have overreacted and fired him immediately. They had grounds to fire him immediately, bro. And they
Oh
didn't.
yeah.
They waited. They waited. They I'm sure they had their internal investigation, and now he was relieved of his duties as of a couple of days ago. So just some details. This is what I got so far. And shout out to Joe Person from The Athletic, who wrote up an article. But he was arrested. Adrian Wilson was arrested on three domestic violence related charges in Scottsdale, Arizona, during the early morning hours of June 1st, according to spokesperson from the Scottsdale Police Department and court records. It says the Panthers confirmed on Sunday the 44-year-old Wilson was no longer employed with the team, but would not comment any further. Okay, so just after 6 a.m. on June 1st, 6 a.m. Why so early in the morning? What are we doing that early? Wilson was arrested at his home and charged with assault, criminal damage, and disorderly conduct. And that comes from a Scottsdale police spokesperson. Okay, all three charges are misdemeanors, so no felony charges. They're all misdemeanors. Wilson's next court date is going to be on July 16th, according to online court records. And Wilson obviously did not respond to the voice message left on his phone. Okay, so again, they've reached out to the Panthers, and shout out to the communication team over at the Panthers. We know them. Excellent job. Kudos to the way y'all handled this. They had no further comment. They're not trying to drag him through the mud. Dave, when you saw this, what were your thoughts?
I'll be honest. Like I was working today, so when I saw that he was let go, and I'm like, that's all right. And then I saw why. And then I saw that he had the charges. I'm like, oh, that'll do it. And so for me, it's like I agree. Props to the Panthers on the way they handled this. I mean, they took over 30 days and did an investigation. They wanted to make sure, and then they made the decision to let him go. So props to them for that. Kind of, hopefully he gets the help that he needs, and you know, 3 charges, all misdemeanors, so he can absolutely turn around from this if he gets the proper help that he needs to get that squared away, get that resolved and fixed. And hope his missus is good and things of that sort. But nah, that's terrible. It's a rough story. Terrible luck by Carolina from that standpoint too, by the way. But hopefully he gets the help that he needs.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I mean, this franchise has a history of some of the craziest things happening, man. We've had players get killed by girlfriends. We've had players kill girlfriends. Like we've had players that have had domestic violence issues in the past. We just had a lot of it, right? It's tough because now, and remember, right? They always say the folks in the front office have a higher standard than the players do. So they kind of had to do this. I don't think they had much of a choice. So
yeah. So when I first saw it, I was confused because obviously, and again, I give the Panthers props. You don't give the information. I saw some other folks jump out the window saying the Panthers are stupid for letting him go, and they. This is why you got to be patient.
You better gotta wait, figure out why, man.
You gotta wait. Yeah, this was one of those situations where I could have went live yesterday and talked about it. I could have went live today, but you just gotta let it. Sometimes you gotta let things come out because you jump out the window calling the Panthers stupid, not knowing the reasons why they did it, and they're keeping a secret for a reason. This was something that, it was too weird. Like it was too like out of nowhere for them just to release him for no reason. There had to be a reason for them to let him go. You got to think about the layers to this, right? Think about the layers to now letting go of Adrian Wilson. Adrian Wilson was a highly touted executive. He was in line to be a GM in the next couple of years. And guess what that gives the Carolina Panthers? Two comp picks. That's what was gonna. That's kind of some of the fallout from this, right? And I'm not.
I don't want to from that perspective. But
I don't want to diminish what happened. I'm just saying that's where my brain went initially when I saw it, without knowing the DV news. Because of course I agree with everything. I agree with them letting him go, and I agree with the way the Panthers handled it. I mean, they're not dragging him through the mud. Listen. Let the court system play out. and then we'll talk about it later, if at all. And we may not want to talk about it, and that just is what
Probably
it
not.
is. And that's just is what it is. You know what I mean? But where my brain went without hearing the DV news was like, shit, man, we're not gonna get our comp picks. This guy was highly touted. He was gonna get a job somewhere soon. What the hell happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, damn, bro, like this is not a good look. And then now the news starts to come out, and now you start to see the reasons as to why. And I gotta agree. I gotta agree with the way the Panthers. I agree with everything they did. You had to move. You had to move on. Again, like Dave said, another black eye potentially for the Panthers. You can't have this. I mean, maybe you kind of help him work through his problems. But at the same time, it's a sensitive time nowadays. You know what I mean? So you got to do what's right. And I think the Panthers did what was right, sending a message to him that what he did was not. There are consequences to your actions. So I certainly agree with what they did, and hopefully everybody involved, whether it's his kids or his wife, hopefully they're doing okay, and hopefully this situation gets worked out soon. But yeah, any other thoughts on this, man? Like, I think it's a messed up situation, bro.
Folks are asking a question of who it was. I'm not going to answer that because out of the property of that family and things of that sort. So I'm not going to do that. But just Google it.
Who made the call?
No, who, like when I talked about players that got killed by their girlfriends and the other way around, like Google it, guys.
Just do your research.
Just do your research. Like I mean, there's also a privacy thing with the families as well. I'm trying to respect in that regard. But yeah, it's tough, man. Like you said, my man Adrian Wilson was on his way. He was probably gonna be a GM in a couple of years. It sucks. It sucks that this happened, but at the same time, there's things that he's got to figure out too. He's got to figure out it on his end, and hopefully, the folks involved are okay and things of that sort.
So Grandizer asked a question: who do you think made the call to let Adrian Wilson go? Tepper, Morgan, or other? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really think it matters.
I don't think it matters. But it don't matter. I mean, he kind of had. I mean, if you're of the belief that the front office has a higher standard than the players do, you had to. I mean, like, and as reiterated, props to the Panthers of being patient to try to at least do an investigation to make sure. But I think their hands were tied either way. I think they didn't have much of a choice. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, if all goes well, he'll get a second opportunity to get back into the front office somewhere else. Hopefully, we'll see though. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the hierarchy, man, I don't know. You can make it a guess that maybe either Dan Morgan did it, Brant Tillis, or somebody of that nature.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have no idea, bro.
But in the grand scheme of things, it really don't matter.
But it's just amazing to me, like all the think pieces that came out about like all us letting Adrian Wilson go. And this is why you'll never. I try my best when situations like this happen not to jump out the window. And sometimes I'm guilty. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, but this is why I don't jump out the window and start just crucifying people.
Because, I didn't know about it till today.
Yeah,
like I didn't like. I
saw it yesterday.
Nah, I saw because I had to drive to New York yesterday. I wasn't thinking about what the heck was going on yesterday. I saw it today, and then like literally like 20 minutes later, the Joe Burson article popped in, and I was like, "Oh, well, that'll do it." So, nah, it's rough, but it's the right call for sure.
Well,
he got fined, didn't he? I didn't say they always do it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you what they always say in public. I mean, I don't know, man. It all depends on what he decides to do after. I think somebody will give him a second opportunity if he does the right thing.
I think it depends on the details, bro. Like
it depends on the details. It depends on whether or not there's a video. If there's a video, he's done. Let's just be
Yeah,
clear.
if
If
it's
there's a
video,
video, it's
it's
over.
over, bro. And I'm
Yeah.
sure there is because everybody's got Ring cameras and home cameras. Even I have it. So if I got it in my house, I'm quite sure he does. So I'm pretty sure there's a video of the situation somewhere.
It's a matter whether or not it shows up, right?
Yeah, whether
Yeah,
it's
but if
released, correct.
yeah. So if there's a video, he's done. If there's not a video and he does the right things, get the proper counseling and the proper treatment that he needs to get, I think he'll get a second opportunity. But there's a lot of ifs at this point because this could be it could be the end, man. My guy's in his 40s. He's close to my age.
Well, he ain't a player though. He's an executive.
No, but that's my point. Like, you still got a career ahead of you. Like, most folks ain't done with a career in their 40s. Most folks.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's got a whole 20, 30 years of work that he can probably do at this rate. So I hope he gets the proper help that he needs, bottom line.
Yeah, but yeah, I think depending on the severity, I think
That's true.
definitely it's gonna be, it could be a wrap for him, and that's the nature of the beast, man. I don't know what happened. I'm not about to sit up here and say he beat his. I don't know what happened.
I have no idea.
I don't know what happened, but
I have no idea.
Unfortunately,
know.
all parties involved are gonna suffer from this because he lost his job. Don't know if he's gonna get another one at this level. I mean, he could probably get maybe a college job somewhere in the meantime, but yeah, it's unfortunate, bro. I think he had a bright future ahead of him, and maybe over a course of some time, maybe he proves himself. He gets some help, goes some classes or whatever, and maybe they'll let him back in. But I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. But anyway, any final thoughts on this before we get to our next topic?
No, let's head to the next topic, man. I think we beat.
All right. In brighter news, there's been a couple articles that have come out talking about Bryce Young and the potential for him to bounce back this year. Okay. Also, there's been articles out about how Bryce Young is facing some pressure, facing the most pressure. Okay, so we'll start with the PFF article that came out recently about Bryce and saying he's facing some pressure here. Shout out to what's my man name? Sam Monson, who writes for PFF. He says he talks about his rough 2023 season. He said what makes his season struggles even more damning is the outstanding year that fellow rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud had for the Texans. As another real contender for the number 1 overall pick, Stroud and his success will draw obvious questions about whether Carolina made the right decision at the top of the 2020 NFL draft. Panthers will hope that the team around Young was a far bigger factor in his failure as a rookie than his ability. In year 2, when he needs to prove it, he'll need to prove them right. So that's kind of what he talked about him facing some pressure. Dave, what do you think about that? You think Bryce Young is facing an immense amount of pressure going into 2024?
Oh yeah, he is. Got a new coach, new offensive coordinator, new scheme potentially. Yeah, I mean he's got to show a different level. He's got to show a new level of progression coming into this season. I mean, it's like some folks have said it's pretty much his rookie year all over again. But the clock's the clock, right? 3 years, folks are going to be having those discussions of whether or not this guy's a bust or not. I mean, so we're about to go into year 2. I think the pressure's there. I mean, it ain't extreme pressure, but there is some pressure, and that's not a bad thing because a lot of folks rise to the occasion when it happens like that. And I think Bryce is one of those guys.
Yeah, I think just speaking to that scenario, you got to understand this is kind of the nature of a number 1 pick. He's been surrounded by talent everywhere he's been, from high school on through college, and that level of talent that was around him last year wasn't up to what he's been playing with in the past. So that I do think the talent and the coaching around him failed Bryce Young a lot last year, and it's to be seen whether all that has changed this year, right? And it's to be seen to be determined whether Bryce is going to step it up. I think he needs to. Everybody's hoping that he does. He's got a lot of haters out there, a lot of doubters. I'm not one of them. I believe in Bryce. I saw his college tape. I've seen what he's done since high school. I think he's got the ability. I just think he needs the right scenario, and that goes to every quarterback. That doesn't just apply to Bryce. That applies to every single quarterback out there. Situation and coaching matters, right? CJ Stroud could flop next year, right? I don't think he will, but things could
We've seen
happen where,
it.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
RG3. We've seen it. Like it's not. It isn't something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
So I think we're such in a reactionary type of world that we just don't have the patience. And I think sometimes you just got to have some level of patience. Yeah, last year was bad. Don't get me wrong, but we don't know who made the right pick yet. Both
yeah,
teams could have probably ended up making the right pick. When 3 years from now, we can probably have this discussion. PNP in 2026, we'll have this discussion, and
yeah.
we'll say, all right, yeah, I think we might have either we're gonna say, I think we did the right thing to trade to go get him, or we're gonna say, God, that was such a show, a shit show. So
Well, that's what he's talking. We're talking about RG3 and we're talking about CJ Stroud. That's what he was talking about. When I talked about CJ
yeah,
Stroud having a great year and could flop the next year, that's what he's talking about in regards to that,
it
not
doesn't.
Bryce.
But that's the point. Like Stroud, and I'm not wishing this on him.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, but
I
yeah,
don't think it's gonna happen. My point is, the NFL is year to year.
it is.
It can change year to year. All right. So we don't know we don't know. Bryce could light it up next year, and Stroud could have a slump. Like we do not know.
Yeah.
Like we don't know. We have no idea. We're all guessing right now. The NFL is a year to year league.
My man Derek said, "I'm gonna just blame Tepper, even if I wanted Bryce too." Hey, that's one way to go. Hey, plausible deniability. That's one way to do it, man, and
That's
blame
exactly
everybody
right.
else. All right. So Monson also he talked about the pressure, but he also goes on to say this. I still think the ceiling is pretty high. He says those number one, those flashes were there. Number two, look at the guy like Tua Tagovailoa in Miami, right? Disasters early on in his career. Then we saw him completely turn it around once the situation around him improved. And that's a huge part of Carolina's thing last season. People got fired at the end of the season. It was a bad situation, top to bottom, and around Bryce Young. And obviously, he did very little to elevate it to make it a better situation. But I do think Tua demonstrates the ceiling can still be incredibly high. Bryce Young at Alabama, I think, was better than Tua and better in the same kind of areas: anticipation, throwing across the middle, reading those kinds of plays and route concepts. So yeah, so he's basically saying, I mean, we've seen that too, right? You talk about the small quarterbacks. Tua, same exact thing. You know, he's had a terrible rookie season. People were ready to leave him, and then he got some
Mm-hmm.
really good receivers. Mike McDaniel comes in there, completely changed everything around. So there's still room for Bryce. Still room for Bryce. Also, Bryce. Before I go to that, Dave, any reactions on that? Then the comparisons to Tua.
I mean, Tua did have some injury history too, that impacted him a bit. But you got to get pieces around him. That helps a lot. That helps a lot more than we realize. That we always tend to forget when we criticize a quarterback. Like we tend to forget. Like this ain't like Jimmy Clausen that has Steve Smith Sr. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Bryce didn't really have much last season. He didn't. So we'll see what happens when we get some weapons around him. Then we'll be
Yeah.
having a different discussion point.
So in another article, Bryce Young was named, and there's a lot of Bryce news. I don't, for some reason, people just kind of, again, slow news, whatever you want to call it, slow news cycle. But Bryce Young was also named the a most promising building block heading into 2024. So this was something done by David Kenyon from the Bleacher Report. He says, "Look, his rookie year was a disaster. I'm not arguing that. Bryce Young was the number one overall pick for many good reasons, though, and a new coaching staff with an improved receiving core has created more encouraging situation for Bryce in 2024. Young must be far better this season, but it's much too early to give up on him. So obviously, you know, he's hoping and thinking that Bryce is going to be better, but it's too early. Like we're saying, like we've been saying, like Dave just said, you got to give him to year 3 to really figure out whether it's it's donezo or not. But I hopefully things are going in the right direction for Bryce Young. Any thoughts on that, Dave?
We gonna root for Bryce. I think he's going in the right direction. I just think we got to understand the concept of patience. But I think this fan base, after what we went through last year, has some of that. I mean, as long as we don't try out another 2 or 15 year, I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, and just for context, this article was about building blocks. So the most important building block on the team. So, for example, let's take a look at the NFC South. Drake London was their piece that he wrote about. In New Orleans, Chris Olave, and then Tampa Bay was Yaya Biabi, the edge rusher. So they're just calling out those building blocks, how the team's going to build around said player that was wrote about. But Dave, what do you think about this? I think this is very interesting. What Alex wrote. A lot of people are getting ahead of the narrative change, right? What do you think about that? I think this is very interesting. People are trying to say, all right, we were harsh on them, we were hard on them. Pause. But now, all right, we
Folks
sense
are
things are heading in the right direction. Now we
no
got to get
folk.
ahead of it.
Folks are realizing how bad of a freaking supporting cast he had. I mean, you got reports going out about what was going on last year in the locker room to begin with, and I think folks, it's because we're in the off season, some folks might actually legitimately sit down and thinking this thing through and be like, maybe we need to give my man Bryce a little bit of grace. We damn sure didn't give him none last year. We pretty much a lot of folks pretty much called him a bust after one season, after half a season in some aspects. So maybe they're finally like sitting down like, maybe this is not as bad as we thought. You know, I think we need to do better from that aspect to have some level of patience. And make sure you guys hit that like button, man. There's over 400 of you guys watching. The fact that we can't even get 100 likes is unsad. We should at least be at 200 likes, give or take.
Facts. Hit the like button. Hit that
that like
subscribe
button.
too. Hit all the buttons. All the buttons.
All the buttons, the bells, hit it all.
But yeah, man. So positive news around Bryce Young. I'm excited to see Bryce this year. Excited to see his growth. Pause. Canellis, see that merger happen and those two guys get on the same page. And I'm really excited about finally having some solid weapons. Want to see Jonathan Brooks get healthy. Him and Chuba could be very dangerous. Then you got Deontay, who's on a mission to prove he's one of the better route runners in the league. Then you got Adam Thielen. You got Liggett, who's about to take the league by storm. So this offense is got some pieces. I just think that Canellis needs to put it together, and hopefully all the puzzle pieces will fit. And this is not some deformed jigsaw puzzle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I trust Canals to have a competent offense.
Yeah, man. So he said he got Ian Thomas. Now I wasn't quite going there, but I do like Trimble, and I do like
man, come on, man.
Sanders.
We ain't got to do all that.
All right. What you mean? We got to give Ian Thomas props.
No, I ain't saying give him props, but we ain't got to toss him like that though. You ain't have to respond to that one. You chose to respond to that.
I could have let that one. You right.
That's my point.
I could have let that one go. You right. I got to be the better man. You right, Dave.
You got to be the better man here.
You're right.
We try to do it. They try to do
it. You're right. I ain't have to do that. I ain't have to do that.
No, you didn't. You had to do that. Too.
My man was catching strays too, bro. We was killing that dude. But anyway, Double O'Kane says, I think all the day one Panther fans believe BY9 is going to pan out, and once the guys around him are better, he will be too. If not, the rant shot will be must-see TV. I mean, listen.
Mine might be worse.
Yeah, his might be worse. But because I can always go back to, and listen, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. So let me just say this before y'all go out here and misunderstand what I say. I don't want to be this guy, right? But I can always fall back on. I have a whole history of me saying I was a CJ Stroud guy throughout the whole entire draft process. I can always go back to that. I don't want to do that. I believe in Bryce Young. I want Bryce Young to be that guy. I'm tired of playing quarterback roulette here and just hoping that it lands on black and my number. You know what I mean?
You better hope, bro. You better get ready to figure out what numbers you want.
Not the case. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's a lot of people that a lot of people flip flop. You know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't like CJ Stroud, and now they on CJ Stroud. So
I was never a fan of the trade. So I'll leave it at that. I was
Yeah,
never a fan of the trade.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be
I
that
don't
guy, bro.
either.
I don't
I
want to be
don't
that guy.
either. Because the thing is, me not being a fan of trade means that we wouldn't have gotten Stroud either. I think we probably would end up with Levis. So, I mean, if we would have taken a quarterback, I just felt like we didn't have I felt like it wasn't necessary at the time.
I did switch up. I said I switched up. I said initially.
He was
throughout the
on
whole draft process.
like for
up until
90% of the process, he was on Stroud.
Check my resume, bro. I got a whole the videos don't get deleted. Go back into that entire offseason, bro.
Yeah.
And people that know, the people that been watching know. So I don't gotta explain it. But I was a CJ Stroud guy all the way up until Bryce Young's pro day. And when Bryce Young's pro day came around, that's when I switched because I heard some things. I knew what was gonna happen. So that's when I made the switch because it kind of is what it is. You know what I mean? So but I do like Bryce, and Bryce is very talented. Don't get me wrong. But I did like CJ Stroud. So, but that's neither here nor there. And I don't want to be that guy. I want to say that Bryce is going to be
I just find it
franchise
amazing
quarterback for the next 20 years.
I just find it amazing that we've gone through this cycle with Bryce Young when we had another quarterback that got drafted not too far from him that didn't hardly play this year due to injury. And the thing that bothered me, I'm pretty sure that Anthony Richardson is healing up, and I think he's gonna be ready for the upcoming season. But the thing that bugged me more than anything else is that the biggest criticism about Bryce Young was the fact that he was too small and he wasn't gonna be able to stay upright, and he pretty much played the whole season.
The Anthony Richardson return is gonna be interesting too, because Anthony Richardson was eating before he got injured.
He was balling. He was balling out there in these streets. But but availability matters too, man. And I think a lot of folks were like, we should have taken somebody else because we don't know if Bryce could stay healthy. And Bryce said, "Hold my beer, watch this," and he stayed healthy. So I think we gotta wait and see. We don't know who's going to be the best out of this thing. We going off 1 year. If y'all want to go off 1 year, fine. Stroud's in the lead, but in that case, Levis is second. A lot of y'all didn't like Levis. Oh, I remember.
Let's keep it a buck, y'all.
A lot of y'all didn't like Levis.
I remember when y'all crucified Dave for taking Levis.
Sure did, because I couldn't trade up, and I was fine with taking Levis at that spot. Y'all crucified me, but nah. I'm just remember where you landed before the draft.
Right.
Just remember where y'all landed. Because you can't be going off of 1 year, because in that case, the power rankings are right now the power rankings are Stroud, Levis, and then you got to figure out how you want to handle Richardson, right? Because he got hurt. Because when like Shad said, when Richardson was in, he was balling. Richardson didn't play most of the year.
He didn't.
He didn't play most of the year.
Ability though. Availability is the best ability.
Yeah, so you probably put Bryce third and then Richardson fourth. So I mean, you guys gotta let this thing pan out. But there's one thing I did say, and I'm standing by what I said on this. I said Bryce's class is gonna be better than the one that everybody was trying to hype this year. And Caleb Williams still ain't signed his deal yet.
Nope. I just said he said he knows his worth.
He knows his worth, huh?
That's what he said.
Oh, I know my worth too. How'd that
work out for you, Dave?
Working out pretty swell, if I do say so myself. But if I was him, you better sign that deal, bruh. What are you doing, man? Training camp's a couple weeks away.
I don't know, bro.
What is he doing?
I have no idea.
Minshew's about to be out here slanging it.
Pause.
Major pause. Yo, Jamarcus. Jamarcus. No, I don't even want to talk about that. That was disgusting after what was going on with him. But nah. Taking Daniel Jones over Bryce is wild. We're not taking Shedeur Sanders, guys. Stop the madness. But anyway, what else we got? This is it.
That was it. That was it for me, bro. That was it. So, any other questions, comments, concerns? Before we shut this thing, I knew it was gonna be a little bit of a short show.
We got an
Not too
hour
much
in.
content to talk about. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. I'm a little exhausted. So it was a crazy day. So, I said, bro's just lying. But
Travis Hunter. I mean, Travis. I stand by what I think about Travis. I think Travis is a better receiver than a corner. I stand by that. But we got to see how he does this year, man. This year's gonna be interesting for Colorado in the second round of the Dion experiment in FBS. But Archie Manning, is he the starter yet? I know you're happy for next week. Well, are you going to be able to play college football before you leave, man?
Yeah, I think I might have one day with it.
Yeah,
I probably won't even play because I'm gonna be sitting. No, because comes out on the 25th. So
I thought it came out next week.
It might. What day does it come out?
I thought it came out the 18th or the 19th. Yeah.
I mean, I
didn't pre-order
it.
Busy. I do have a game coming out that I'm gonna have to call GameStop about to tell them to hold it until I get back from Vegas. Nintendo World Championship's coming out that same day, I think. So I'm gonna go I'll grab that.
Oh yeah, my man said, "Come on, the 19th." Yeah, I'm getting busy.
Yeah, because you got a whole week.
Yeah, I'm getting busy, dog. Well, I won't. I'll be at a dance competition.
I
got the 26th. I might have a couple days with it. I have a couple.
I'll be at Evo at that point on the 19th, so should be a fun time. I can't wait, man. I'm amped. I almost want to take a flight early.
Oh, so I got it the 16th. Yeah, I might have to bring my PlayStation. No, I won't do that because
you're nuts. Nah, that heavy ass console.
No, I was talking about to the dance competition.
Nah, dang, you got that much type of free time?
Yeah, there's a lot of free time.
Really?
Yeah, there is. But I'm not gonna do that. I probably won't really get busy until I get back.
Is that game coming on PC? I'm guessing it probably won't.
I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, This
is why I got a PS5, bro. This game is why I got a PS5.
I'm slowly converting to PC. Slowly. Like I gotta start playing my fighters on PS5 so I can get used to the delay because that's what the console they're gonna use for most of the tournaments. But yeah. But nah, he's a better receiver, man. He ain't big enough. He be getting pushed around that corner. But all right, let's shut this thing down. Become a Patreon, guys.
Yeah, on the way out, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and all that good stuff. Let me send a quick shout out. Let me see. Since you said we got some Patreon folks. Shout out to Ebony. We know Ebony. Shout out to who else? Anybody else? And I got Jerry already. Yeah, that's it. What'd you say, Dave?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Shout out to the Patreons. It's the best way to support the channel, guys. Outside of going on Underdog Fantasy and use the promo code PNP when you sign up on UnderdogFantasy.com. I mean, become a Patreon, man. It's the best way to support the channel by far, and you get some perks on the way.
Facts. All right. With that said, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff, man. We'll holler at y'all next week, and then we're gonna gear up for training camp. It's all systems go from there. Then it's on like neck bones, dog. Let's get to it.
Bones. All right.
Let's get to it. All right, we'll holler at y'all. See y'all next week. We out of here. Keep pounding.
Peace.